Today we're going to be talking about the crazy story of how Steve Jobs found his biological father. So Steve Jobs was actually adopted as a baby. He was born in 1955 in San Francisco, California, and was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs. Even though Steve always knew he was adopted, he always considered his adoptive parents as his parents. In the mid 1980s, Steve Jobs eventually found and met his biological mother. And his biological mother told him that he actually had a younger sister. His younger sister's name was Mona Simpson, and she was an accomplished writer and novelist. Steve eventually met his sister Mona, and the two ended up forming a very tight friendship. Mona later went on to try and track down their biological father, eventually meeting him. Their biological father's name was Abdul Fattah John Jandali, and he was managing a coffee shop in Sacramento, California. Mona went on to meet their biological father alone. Steve Jobs also instructed Mona to not bring him up and to not tell their father that his son was Steve Jobs. When Mona met her father and was having a conversation with him, he said something that caught her attention. He mentioned that he wished that she had seen him when he ran a bigger restaurant. And a matter of fact, when he ran that bigger restaurant, big names used to come there and eat. Matter of fact, Steve Jobs went there and ate. And matter of fact, that he met Steve Jobs and that he was nice and that Steve Jobs was a good tipper. The crazy part of all this is he's saying this, and Mona knows that's your son, but she doesn't say a word. Mona then told Steve this revelation, but Steve decided that he didn't want to meet his biological father, and all the way up until his death, never formally met him. Many years later, Steve Jobs' biological father would eventually find out that his son was the infamous Steve Jobs. If you enjoy these type of videos like I do, please subscribe.